Good morning and welcome. And before we start off, a huge apology for starting off late, ladies and gentlemen. But it was some technical errors. No matter what we say, there is no excuse. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Everest Rodriguez, and I'm going to be your compare anchor today. We have gathered under this roof, ladies and gentlemen, some of the brightest minds in the country. Now, you're going to be interacting with these brightest minds, but there is also another request going out that you're not only interacting with the stage. We've got so much of information out here in the audience. We would want you to network as much as possible amongst yourselves whenever we have the breaks, whenever we give you the opportunity, even when we don't give you the opportunity. Please make sure that you do interact with each other, because we want to create the platform where it is easier for you to make friends, of course, because that is what is required. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off the day. DataQuest presents DQ Live, the 3rd edition. This is the Business Technology Conference and Awards, and the theme today is the Digital Enterprise. Before we take this forward, we would like to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors, without whom this would not have been possible, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to say thank you to our platinum sponsors, Wipro, our gold partners, Huawei, and Microsoft and Software One, our mobility partners, Let's Go More, awards partners, Cyber Rome. This event is supported by Golgotias University, and our television partner is ET Now. To give us a short introduction on today's program, we would like to invite on stage to introduce DQ Live, Mr. Satish Gupta, Head of Marketing, DataQuest Group. Please get your hands together as Satish joins us on stage.
Oh, you have switched off this. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Satish, and thanks, Everest, for a brief introduction already about DQ Live. DQ Live is the annual conference by DataQuest for the enterprise community that we launched 3 years back. So that's why this is season 3. We were doing this in Mumbai for the past 2 years, and we believe enterprises in Delhi also should benefit of this conference. And we have been putting together good content speakers for past 3 years. DQ Live is not just an event. We have built this as a concept where not only there are some content sessions, but there are also many things around the event that takes place. For example, there is a 18-hour studio that we have for bites, speed bites. We have DQ Live Time, where we take interviews of people here and carry that as content for our magazines and websites and various other platforms. We have Coffee with CXO as a new introduction to DQ Live this year, where we do in fact, a day in the life of CXO. How is it? Is it just technology, or is it beyond technology? So we are going to ask rapid fire questions. We're going to see a lighter side of that CXO. So those snippets will be available as webcast, which we will send it to you after the event. We have C-suite panels that we have. We have excellent speakers, keynote speakers, as well as some leadership mantra gurus here sitting with us. Through the day, you will see a lot of interaction with these people. And I think the whole foundation of DQ Live is good content and speakers. And that's why we believe that we bring in a lot more content-related activities. CXO roundtables, there are focused roundtable discussions on technology that is happening. But this is overall a leadership-based conference, which we will take it to newer heights in the coming couple of years, and want to make it as not just one event, but an experience for all of us. So I think any queries, you should look around what we have done around DQ Live, not only here, but outside the event venue also. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I once again welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish. And now we would like to invite on stage our speaker, our keynote address speaker. We have with us the Chairman and CEO of PepsiCo India Holdings Private Limited, Mr. D. Shivakumar. Mr. Shivakumar, or Shiv, as he is popularly known, is Chairman and CEO of PepsiCo India Holdings Private Limited. Before PepsiCo, Shiv was with Nokia for 8 years, running India and then the emerging market operations. Shiv is a marketer and a CEO. He has run over 34 brands in his career across Unilever, Philips, and Nokia. Shiv is a growth manager. Having grown every brand and geography, he has managed through innovation, new business models, and ecosystem partnerships. Shiv is a good coach and invests time and energy in growing people. This morning, Mr. Shivakumar is going to be speaking about driving digital transformation and creating an enterprise-wide digital strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your hands together as Mr. D. Shivakumar joins us on stage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and can I have my slides, please? My pleasure to be here this morning, and for me, digital has always been a huge, huge force in this world, and it's always a pleasure to come to digital forums to talk about this. They've asked me to talk about digital and an enterprise and what strategy means in terms of digital in an enterprise. So I'll take about maybe 20-25 minutes, and then we'll move on. First thing I want us to know is the digital wave that you talk of today is a combination of smartphones plus apps plus the internet. If you look at the analog age, the first set of digital products coming out of the analog age were things like television and durable products. But today, products have truly become personal. So look at the numbers. Today we have 1.2 billion smartphones being sold in the world. Third consecutive year, 2013, a billion smartphones sold. 2014, a billion smartphones sold. This year, 1.2 billion smartphones. Okay? 3 consecutive years of a billion phones each. Second, we have 0.5 mobile phones being sold, 0.5 billion mobile phones, 500 million. And we have 0.2 billion or 200 million laptops being sold. I've always said that in emerging markets, a laptop is yesterday's product. This year, globally, tablets will outsell laptops this year. A category which was created just 7 years ago will outsell laptops. So today's digital world is smartphones plus apps plus the internet. In that sense, it's deeply personal because all three are deeply personal. A phone is something that you have. A phone is something which monitors everything you do. An app is something you choose because it's a passion and an interest for you. And on the net, you log on to what you want. So today, the digital world is a deeply personal world compared to a catch-all general world which was there 10 years ago. So that's my first point for you. It is a smartphone, apps, internet world. Okay? Can you move my slide, please? No. Second, what's the impact of this digital world? InnoSight, one of the companies which manages innovation, put out this stat. In the 1960s, the average life of an S&P 500 company was 50 years. In 2015, the average life of an S&P 500 company is 12 years. So digital is having a dramatic impact on companies and their longevity. So which basically means that scale no longer, just having scale no longer is an antidote to success. Or scale no longer guarantees you continuity of life. It doesn't. I think the digital world is disrupting every industry, and every large company which does not change falls by the wayside. That's the big lesson which I want you to take out. If the average life of a company is 12 years in today's world, just imagine how quickly things are changing. Okay? So that's the next thing for you. Next slide, please. First, so when I look at a digital strategy in an enterprise or in a firm, let's look at two extremes. Let's look at a small company, let's look at a large company, and what really happens. If you look at a small company, and I'm sure some of you come from a small company background and are running small companies today, maybe less than 100 crores, 200 crores. A small company has a lot of agility, but it has no scale. The biggest advantage of a small company is agility. In Silicon Valley, people rewrite their strategy every Saturday. If the customer orders, the money is not flowing in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday morning they have a new strategy. That is the agility of a small company. You can change what you want. Okay? But you have no scale. On the other hand, a large company has lots of scale and no agility. That's the challenge of a large company. They're so big that they can't get themselves to respond. They're so big that they can't be flexible enough. Okay, so the small company, great agility, no scale. A large company, great scale, no agility. That's where it is. However, the one technology which can actually give them both of what they want is digital. Digital can help both a large and a small company to get what they don't have. What do I mean by that? If you look at the last 5 years, forget even 25 years ago, 5 years, just 5 years, computing costs have dropped dramatically. Dramatically, not ordinarily. Storage costs have dropped even more dramatically with the cloud, etc. Third, office costs have dropped because you don't need an office anymore. You can work virtually. And targeting any consumer group or any customer group has dropped dramatically. Now think about it from where I started, my hypothesis. If you're a small company, thanks to digital, you have access to everything the large company has. Equally for a large company, if you're a large company, you have everything available to you if you want to be nimble enough. So both small and the large company can use digital and all that it is presenting as an opportunity to get better. So today, to start a company, you require very little, infrastructure cost. Very little infrastructure cost. The biggest problem in the past was getting an office, getting a phone, getting this, getting that, getting computers, getting servers. All that's gone today. Completely gone today. Okay. So digital has made the barriers to entry as well as the barriers to exit very minimal. And that's why people start businesses, 2 years, finish it, start another business. That's what's happening. You have serial entrepreneurs. Because the cost of entry and the cost of exit are so low today in a digital world that everybody with an idea is an entrepreneur. That's what's really happening. With the digital world, costs of doing business have collapsed. Now, what does that mean? It has serious implications for a large company which has built up a cost structure to serve this kind of a thing. Because their cost structure and margin will no longer be applicable. Once you go to the cloud, the best margin you can afford is 20-25%. So all the stuff you have built in the past is of no use. So in a sense, legacy companies tend to get hurt much more with the new digital strategy. Because legacy companies have a lot of sunken infrastructure costs. So the more legacy a company you are, the more nimble you need to become. The more you hang on to the past, the less likely you will succeed in 2016. So legacy costs, consumers are unwilling to pay anymore, customers are unwilling to pay anymore. So legacy is good, but it hurts you in business, that in a digital world. That's the big lesson for you in this. So how does a digital strategy work in a company? First, a digital strategy at the buying level can make a company very transparent if it puts out its policy. Imagine every company buying staples, paper, sugar, tea, coffee, etc. Imagine if all companies put all their sourcing on the e-auction sites. Every single thing they did, all their procurement, if it was digital, it's the most transparent system available. Everybody has a chance. Equally, nobody in the company will be accused of favoritism. Nobody in the company will be accused of taking money or graft or whatever it is. It's the most transparent thing. So I recommend to every company, on the downside, which is the supply procurement side, use digital to make your whole policy transparent. So this is what it is. We'll select the 5 guys. We give you a chance. If you do not meet our requirements in 3 months' time, we go to the next person. A transparent world gives everybody a chance. And that's what companies can truly use, big or small companies. Okay, your whole supply side chain, please ensure it's as transparent as you can make it. Okay? A huge digital strategy does not happen in companies today, let me tell you that. Today you can do it, but it doesn't happen in companies. The benefits are immense, not ordinary. The benefits are immense. That's first thing when I start with the value chain. Next, Digital allows a company to craft its own strategy, values, and build them from the ground up. Okay? One of the things we used to do in my last company, Nokia. Nokia was a pure digital, giant. It was one of the early companies which caught the digital wave, huge. Our whole strategy, once the top management would put it out, everybody in the company would comment on it. So the company would use the digital blogs. Nokia used to have 800, 900 blogs running. People would comment on this. I like this, don't like this. This needs fine-tuning, etc. The company would spend a month collecting all that before it finally came through with its strategy. Similarly with values. Okay, the top management would say, these are the values we've stood for in 2000. These are the values we've stood for in 2005. These are the values we stood, what do you think we should stand for now? Vote for it. And the whole company is to, engage in it and come up with the answers. So, in the earlier era, a chief executive would speak, then the memos will come, everybody will get it, some will read it, some will not. But in a short span of a month, you can virtually create global strategies and get buy-in and commentary from everybody in the organization. Okay? So a digital system in your company will actually help you get the voice from every single person who matters to you. Okay? A lot of companies do it, many companies don't do it. The thing about opening this up is it has to be democratic. You have to be able to take the gruff also. Not everybody will like your strategy. Some people will say this is the wrong strategy. But you need to have the conviction to accept criticism and feedback for what it is. It doesn't mean that every single thing which is said on the blog, internal blog, you need to accept. You need to have the maturity and the backbone to take criticism as a leadership team. That's something you can do. That's the next part, how a company can get buy-in using a digital strategy. Next. Digital keeps a company humble if it listens to consumers. Social listening. One of the biggest challenges for companies is, what is my consumer saying about me? What is my customer saying about me? What is my consumer saying about my new advertising or my new strategy or my new initiative? If you just got into social listening as a company or as a management team, it's a huge, huge humility exercise. Because you'll have both positive comments from your consumers and customers and challenging comments. It tells you almost every day, almost 24 hours, whether what you're doing is right or wrong. Okay. We in PepsiCo do social listening every day now. Every day. Okay. Every day we look at the commentary on our brands. It tells us what's working, what's not working. That itself is a huge humility exercise for everybody involved in satisfying the needs, wants, and desires of consumers. Okay. So social listening as part of your digital strategy in your company can make you a far humbler company. And when you are a humble company, you will respond much better. When you are an arrogant company, you will never respond. Okay. Humility is going to be an integral part of a good digital strategy and your ability to respond to market changes. Okay. Next slide, please. The next one, digital promotes a very different type of democracy if leaders believe in distributed leadership. Gone are the days when you have a leader who decides everything and then it goes down. In today's digital networked world, I believe you need what I call shared or distributed leadership, where there are about 10, 15 people or maybe 50 people whose collective wisdom and experience comes to the table before you take a decision. It will never be one person, two persons. It never works like that. Because knowledge in a digital enterprise rests across the company. It doesn't rest with a few. That's the challenge of the digital world. In the old world, knowledge, wisdom, experience rested with people who had 20 years experience. Today, the same rests with people who have 20 days experience. So hence, you need to get into a distributed leadership style of working. And that's what a digital enterprise, a strategy for any company which aims to be digital should be to develop distributed leadership style, as opposed to a single unidimensional leadership style. Okay? That's the next one I see as a strategy. However, there are also some downsides. Sadly, digital sadly makes it easy to make company confidential news and data public. Every email can be sent out to somebody. Every email can be transferred to your personal Gmail account or XY account, Yahoo account, and then it goes out to somebody. There are many times, a lot of people have called me and said, hey Shiv, your data is up in the marketplace. It's sad. Why is this? Because employees who are not fully aligned with what you're trying to do, okay, try to hurt your company. And here's the real challenge. Due to privacy, you have to respect their privacy, because if you're a good corporation, you'll respect that. But equally, you have to get their engagement and buy-in so that they don't do the wrong things, that they're not hurting the company. Okay. I know of instances in the cell phone business where people have written to other companies to say, we're willing to trade the roadmap of this company for the next 12 months. What are you willing to pay us? People have traded, market share data. All this has happened. So it's a big challenge. So an open, transparent system also hurts you if some people in your system are not ethical and don't believe in the integrity of your company. Okay, this is a real challenge. So the more digital you go, the more you need to watch out for this. This will happen. Do not be rosy-eyed and tinted glasses and think it won't happen to you. It will happen, I promise you. It's happening in every company in this country today. It will continue to happen. Okay? All you can do is to ensure that you have the systems and the processes and the engagement to ensure that if any such things happen, you weed out the employees who are doing this kind of things. Next. Digital makes leaders think of public and private opinions. How many of you read a blog? Okay. How many of you are on Facebook? How many of you are on Twitter? Excellent. Good. Now here's the catch while I'm speaking to you. I'm not on either. I'm on none of them. I don't write a blog. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. There's a deliberate reason for that. When I discussed this many years ago, 7, 8 years ago, with my comms head then in my old company, we realized that in India, people don't separate the public from the private view. And every view I put out will be seen as my company view as opposed to